Hi, I'm Ephraim Elliott, and you've just been placed on alert. Welcome to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Mr. Karlos Noble. He is with Tri-County Rural Health Network. And
yes.
We're going to talk about today.
Pleasure to be here, Mr. Ephraim.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
We're going to talk to Mr. Noble about our affordable health care and why it's so important to have affordable health care and what it means. Thanks again for coming, Mr. Noble.
Pleasure is all mine. It was kind of cold this morning.
I know it was very cold.
Yes, I had put on at least about 4 pair of long johns just to get here.
That's right, that's right.
But however, that and a warm cup of coffee got me on point to be able to do what's good for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, we've had a couple of forums around the community about affordable health care.
Yes.
But I remember in one of the forums, you mentioned what affordable health care was to you from a different perspective. Can you tell me what that is?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, Ephraim, because I'm from the old school, like I tell many people, and I've told a lot of people before, is that we come from an era where, at least I come from an era, and I remember the era when we had our doctors in our neighborhoods. We were able to go and see them in the grocery stores, and see them on any day, every day, if not once or twice, 2-3 times a day.
Right.
We would see them, so we were comfortable with them. And then it helped us to know that the healing didn't just start when we got to the doctor's office. It actually started with the comfortability of knowing who was going to be servicing us. So, I look at the Affordable Health Care Act as a vehicle that will get us back to that point to where we can become more familiar, with our doctors and have more time, with that person. Because now, which I make light of it, and I call it the era of Dr. Frankenstein, because, we have these doctors that, that are in these private insurance industries or independent companies, and they're only there for the paycheck. So if you can't pay, or if you can't take care of the business financially concerning them, then you get switched to another company.
Okay.
So could you imagine your daughter, if you have a daughter, and you go and you take her and she gets familiar with this doctor, and then all of a sudden next week there's a new doctor.
Right.
Well, see, the healing doesn't come because there is no comfort. And really, actually, our children, they go in with the same sickness and only come out with a prescription.
Right.
And psychologically and physically, they're still hurting. Right. So, I believe that Affordable Health Care Act is a vehicle to get us back to those days where we're around that doctor and we can get a good common relationship and start healing in the right way.
Okay. So now with affordable health care, I don't care where you stand financially, you should be able to get the same service as anyone else. Is that kind of how it's working?
Yes, yes. It helps us to be able to go in and not be discriminated against. See, in the health insurance industry, there was a lot of discrimination because some companies would help or got more faster service than other companies did.
Okay.
There was a time where, if you just had Medicaid, and it was really, it was an embarrassment, actually, to have Medicaid, because that was a type of downtrodden insurance, where, you had to get laid on the back steps, or they made you wait in long lines. You could be shot up with a Uzi and they'd have you over you looking like Swiss cheese, But now, if you got United Health, if you got other good paying insurance companies, to name a few, I can't think of them right now. All Choice, Tri-City.
Tri-City,
yeah,
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Right, you have a lot of different independent insurance companies that have still a good name, and all because they've been able to pay the doctors. But that was a time, that time now is coming to an end, because now people need help.
Right. Exactly.
They don't need to be talked to about the price of money or anything like that. When you see a sick person, they need help.
Right, and affordable health care will give them the opportunity to get that help.
That's the key word, Ephraim. I'm glad you said affordable.
Right.
Affordable health care, because it's 8.5%, America, 8.5% of your earnings that will go, that you have to pay. Now that 8.5%, it only adjusts itself according to what you've made that year.
So
okay?
are you saying that if I make $1 million, as long as my health care isn't over 8.5, it's affordable?
Well, first of all, to be politically correct, you can't make over $100,000 a year.
Okay. Oh, but
to be on the affordable health program.
But let's say it's 90,000.
Well, if it's $90,000 a year, $90,000 a year at 8.5% is still 8.5% at $9,000 a year.
So whether it's 90 or 9, it's still 8.5 percentile of your, is that your gross or your net?
I believe that would be your gross. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because there are some companies out there that actually either, they either don't have insurance and they would want their people to try and get the affordable health care, but there are some who offer it, and that being health care. And if it's like, let's say if it's 9 percentile of their gross, can someone opt out of their insurance and go to the exchange and get their affordable health care?
If in fact that their insurance is not doing what they want it to do, then that's what the affordable health care is about.
Okay.
Tailoring your insurance, America, to you.
Right.
You can tailor your insurance to the things that you have, that you know personally about you and your family.
Right.
So if, in fact, if you're making, you did say 9%.
Yeah.
9% or over.
Instead of 8.5, if your company is giving it to you for 9.5 or 9 percentile.
It's totally your choice.
Okay.
It's totally your choice. This is still America.
Right.
As we know it. This is still America, and the choice, the freedom of choice is always there. But we want to be strategically correct when it comes to the health of our families.
Okay. But 8.5 is the measuring stick. Now, anything over 8.5 is...
Well, they say 8.5 to 9%.
Okay, 8.5
yeah,
to 9%.
9% percentile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about that 8.5 and 9 percentile and just how much effect it has on affordable health care. We'll be right back.
I was at the top of my game. I felt invincible. But when I went for my regular team physical, it turned out I had a serious kidney disease. It was caught in time to treat it, and lucky for me, I was insured. That's why it's so important that now you can get affordable quality health coverage through the new health insurance marketplace, where you can compare brand name plans and even get lower monthly payments as part of the healthcare law. Enroll today so you can stay in the game.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Mr. Karlos Noble with Tri-County Rural Health Network.
Yes, sir.
And they, their organization,
we're located at 615 Main Street, which is downtown Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
That's right. And you guys offer affordable, well, I don't think you offer it, but you help people to get affordable health care. Is that correct?
Well, in actuality, Ephraim, I mean, you're my buddy and all, and I'd like to say this. We're IPA connectors.
Now explain what IPA connectors is.
Well, actually, it's pronounced as a community connector because we are people who are, you know, we're into the community. We want to know our community.
Right.
Because if you don't know your community, how can you service your community? So
Right.
what we do, IPA means in-person assister. It just simply means that we come out in person. We'll come to you if you can't come to us.
Right. So regardless of what the situation is, what you guys want to do is make sure that people have an opportunity to get affordable health care.
Yes.
Regardless of what their financial situation is.
Yes. Because the Affordable Health Care Act is an insurance revolutionary movement.
Yes.
You know, and I say that not in a violent way, but I say it in an aggressive way to get us back to the place to where everybody is on the same level. You know.
Well, let me ask you this: to people who will say, "Why would I want to be on a level with everybody?" I mean, maybe there are going to be some people who say, "I don't want affordable health care," or there's going to be some people who listen to the mainstream media and say, "This Obamacare, this affordable health care, it's not for me. I shouldn't have to opt into it because I'm gonna be all right." What do you say to those kind of people?
Well, I say to those people, you don't like saving money. I would say to those people, you don't like good vacations.
Right.
I would say to those people, do you like taking your kids to Disneyland? Oh, and what about Atlantis? Do you like going there? Those are some of the options that you have when you deal with an affordable situation, whether it's the dollar store, Walmart, or any other place that you might go to where you can save money.
That's right.
You know, and what's great about the Affordable Health Care Act, you're only getting taxed if you have to pay anything 1% or $95 a year.
Wow.
And that changes if you don't pay. It grows.
It grows.
Yeah, you know. So
does that mean if I say, look, I'm not gonna. I'm a young guy, which I am a young guy, but what if I say, you know, these kids between 19 and 26 who say, you know, I'm relatively happy. I don't really have any health issues. I'm not going to opt in it because I don't think that, you know, it's fair for me to pay a certain amount and other seniors or other people don't have to pay as much as me. I'm not going to deal with health care. How do you address those kids, those young kids who we need in the system to make it more effective so that the older people can take advantage over the affordable health care?
I think that the affordability is a learned ingredient of America itself.
Right.
I think that that's a good thing to be able to practice in a home, to be able to teach a child. So it's all about the parental approach to affordability. Do you raise your child in not living above their means? Do you raise your child in the sense of being real, you know, about their position in life?
Right.
Do you raise your child with the ethics of survival?
Right.
And care?
Right.
Because in time, a child grows up to be an adult. And when you grow up to be an adult things happen.
Right.
Children come about. Greater responsibilities.
Right.
So you want to be on the affordable side.
Right.
When you're dealing with
And
that situation.
Also, another thing is these kids from 19 to 26, you know, people may say, oh, well, I don't have a need for health care, but that's not actually correct. I mean, there are a lot of young kids who are visiting the doctors or could actually visit and have preventative measurements done, so at a later age they won't be as, you know, unhealthy, like diabetes or some of these other things that if these young kids are going to the doctor early, some of those things can be actually caught, medicine can be applied, and they can live a healthy lifestyle, a healthy and a hearty lifestyle, without at age 40 it being a major issue.
So what I'm hearing from you, Efren, is that instead of them saying they don't need it, in actuality they really do.
Of course they need it.
There are our targeted class of people that we really want to deal with,
Right.
because it's when you're young, it's when you're haphazardly in your life, it's when you think
Right.
that you're Superman or Wonder Woman, you know,
Exactly.
that you really need to be covered.
That's right.
Because most of the time when we feel we don't need to be covered, that's when those things befall
Right.
us.
And it's just like, here's the scenario that I use with people. It's like saying, I'm not going to put my 19-year-old or my 26-year-old on my car insurance, or you buy them a car and say, oh, well, you're a pretty safe driver, you're a young person, I'm not going to buy you car insurance. And guess what happens? You get into
Right.
you get into some form of an accident,
Yes.
and then now you're stuck with this major bill because you're saying, okay, well, you know, I didn't think that this child, or I didn't think that this would happen, and you're ending it up spending way more money trying to fix the situation than you could have if you just would have had gotten them on insurance. And that's what we have to let people know. We have to let them know that it's about protecting your family. It's about protecting your children. It's about protecting your community, because we would be crazy to say to our young kids, 19, 18, 15, whatever, that we're not going to put them on our car insurance, because 9 times out of 10, something happens. And when it happens, it affects us greatly. So that's what I think about when I think about affordable health care. I know that it's a preventative measurements in reference to our youth, our kids, our community. And I encourage, my daughter's about to graduate now. She's still on my insurance, and she'll stay on my insurance until we can. But as soon as she hits the age where she has to get off, she's going directly on affordable health care. And I think that that's great, because there's a transition from her being on ours and being taken care of to her being able to take care of herself. And it just makes good sense.
And you know, it's good that you say that, because affordable, and I want to say this because you asked me one time, and you said, Karlos, what do you think healthcare is?
Well, before we go into that, we're gonna have to go on break, and when we come back, I want you to tell me exactly what you said at those forums, because I think it was a great thing.
Thank you.
We will be right back for our next message.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Hi, I'm Magic Johnson. The good news is now you can finally get the health insurance you need. You can just go online to the new health insurance marketplace. You can do side-by-side comparisons of brand name plans and choose the one that's right for you. Find out how you can get lower monthly payments as part of the healthcare law. It might sound like magic, but take my word for it, it's real. Protect your health. Enroll today.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Mr. Karlos Noble from Tri-County Rural Health Network.
Yes.
And he was just explaining to us about what an IP is, and also he was about to give us his definition in reference to healthcare as a whole. And I had to cut him off because we had to go on break. So, Mr. Noble, I want you to tell me what you said at those forums.
Well, one thing that people, they don't really understand how far, as you would say, or as they say on the Matrix, the rabbit hole goes, you know. But when you speak of affordable, you speak of comfort, and you speak of comfort and relationship. But we'll get into that later. But what I said at the forum was that I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who love to eat at Red Lobster.
Right.
And what if I told you, and you were walking past and saw somebody eating, and I could see that you were hungry, and I just told you to come on in, you can have whatever you like. And you said, sir, Mr. Noble, I don't have any money, or I don't have enough money.
Right.
You know, and I told you to cover the meal. I said, well, still, you can come on in and you can pay me when you can, you know, get enough money, when you're able to do so. And you would still be reluctant, but you could still come in and eat. Would you come in and eat?
Yes, I would most definitely come in.
That's what the affordable health care is. It's affordable. When you have enough to pay, when you don't have enough to pay, you can still be covered. So if you guys want to get in where you can fit in, you can reach us, Tri-City Rural Health Network, Tri-County Rural Health Network. You can reach us at 615 Main Street, Suite 3. downtown Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I mean, Suite 3. I said Suite 3.
Yeah.
But you can reach us down there. And come on down so that you can get informed, duly informed about what's going on, so we can separate the myths and the facts and give you the truth.
Right. And see, here's the thing. There's been a lot of myths about the affordable health care and what people can do and what people can't do. The one thing I always tell them is, why don't you go down to an IP person and learn firsthand what your situation is? Because see, people's situations are different. And some people may have a job, maybe a part-time job, maybe in school and have a part-time job, but no insurance. But the key is making sure that you, your family, your loved ones has insurance, because there's going to come a time when this has been put out for us that we're able to have affordable health care, and people who decide, well, you know what, I'm not going to do it. At some point, the hospitals, the other places are going to say, you had an opportunity to have this. So if you don't take it, there's going to be some repercussions. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure that there's going to be some repercussions if I have offered you something that can not only just help you, but help preventative measurements and all this other thing, and I decided not to take it. There's going to be some penalty assessed with it. I'm not sure what it is, but I can say it's not going to be something that makes us feel well.
Well, I believe firmly anything that's given freely is given by God. You know, and I say that in reference to all things belong to Him.
Right.
But to make it short, people who don't benefit from just the offer will end up like the people who say, no, I'm not hungry, I won't come in to eat.
Right.
And then later on, when they get down the block,
right,
you know, their stomach's growling, you know, they're hurting, you know, and then they go in somewhere to eat and make a fool out of everybody and themselves. So be careful, you know, when you run into things in life and you find such a thing. I know that it's kind of hard right now because we're going through a hard time, but this is a change, Ephraim. It's a revolution in insurance, and we're trailblazers for something that people are not even used to, never had happen here in America.
Right.
So, you know, we can expect the opposition that we're getting. We can expect the reluctance that we're getting. But what we expect is that you guys trust that you would want to live in an affordable way.
Right. And see, here's the key with that as well. Anything that's started by the government has always had some issues. People talk about, well, the website is really messed up and you can't get on the website. If you look back in history, when you start talking about Medicaid and Medicare, they had some issues themselves starting it out.
Yes,
but everybody has said, all of the politicians have said that within the next 2 to 5 years, this is going to be something great and groundbreaking for our country. And it's going to end up, because they're going to get the website fixed. That's a formality.
Yes.
But it's going to end up helping more of the country than we can even imagine.
Yes.
And we have to take advantage of this right now so that our children, our community, and everybody is a safer, more healthy community and more healthier place to live.
Yes, and when you have healthier people, Ephraim, you're pushed in the market of getting more jobs.
Right.
Because healthy people want to work. Healthy people want to do something inspiring.
Right.
And you don't want to be in the way of a healthy person that needs to take care of their family.
Right.
So it's a good thing. It comes about, and then when the jobs are created, then we can see America moving forward.
Yeah, because
You know,
I mean, if you're
a healthy America.
A healthy America means a person can work that job and then go to school, and even if they have a cold or whatever, they have insurance to get all that stuff taken care of.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have. That's one thing that you don't have to worry about, because we have so many people who go to work sick.
Yes, yes.
And if you're sick, you're not going to have a very productive work hour or hours
or day.
I mean, you're just not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But if you have insurance, you can always say, okay, well, I'll be back Go to the doctor, a doctor, as you said, that you know and are comfortable with and who knows you.
Exactly.
That way there's a relationship and you can go ahead and that person knows you and you can get taken care of right then.
Now, the only reason why I want to say this, and I know we got to go and we don't have really much time, but I want to say the real positive thing about having affordable health care and that relationship with your doctor, it's a psychological thing, because back then you knew, once your doctor knew you from coming on a regular basis, they just not only knew your body, but they knew your mind as well.
And your family history.
And your family history. So they knew more how to troubleshoot what was going on with you versus just saying, hey, have you been here before?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to just get back and hopefully, like you said, one day we'll come back and we'll talk about relationship and how well that ties in to everything that's affordable. Because if we can live affordable, guess what? America, you can too.
That's right. Well, I want to thank you for coming, and I want to let you know you have just been placed on alert.
Bless you, man. And it's so good to be here.
Anytime
you ask me, I'll be honored.
Thank you. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about, because you also are a reverend, and we were talking about relationships. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk about relationships for a while. And that's next segment.
Bless you. And I want to say that's Tri-County Rural Health Network, 615 Main Street. Come down, see us, get in, where you can fit in.
All right. Hi, I'm Ephraim Elliott, and you've just been placed on alert. Okay, let's try it one more time.